The death cap, responsible for 90% of all fatal mushroom poisonings on Earth, the death cap is nature's most deceptive assassin. It's smooth, with a pale green-gray cap and white gills, and looks remarkably clean, appetizing. The danger of the death cap is its complete lack of warning signals. It has no bitter taste or offensive chemical smell, and it's reported to taste quite delicious. But once consumed, its amatoxins block your cells from making new proteins, and your liver and kidneys can't repair themselves fast enough to keep up. Symptoms take up to 12 hours to appear, and after the first agonizing wave, victims experience a brief, cruel recovery phase. By the time the pain returns, the internal damage is completely irreversible. Even experienced foragers have mistaken it for edible straw mushrooms, with fatal results. The Eastern Destroying Angel. The Eastern Destroying Angel looks like a pristine, snow-white forest flower. It's completely white from the top of its silky cap to the delicate ring on its stem and its bulbous base. The primary hazard of this species is its egg phase mimicry. When young, it is enclosed in a white, egg-like membrane and can look almost identical to an edible puffball. If a forager harvests these eggs without checking them, they're bringing home a lethal dose of amatoxins. The only way to distinguish them is to slice the specimen completely in half. A true edible puffball is solid white all the way through. Cut open a young destroying angel, though, and you'll see the deadly silhouette of a developing capped mushroom hiding within the shell. Chemically, it carries the exact same amatoxins as the death cap. A single cap contains enough toxin to kill a healthy adult. The deadly web cap. What if a poison could hide in your body for nearly a month before you realized you'd been poisoned? The deadly web cap is a warm orange-brown to reddish-brown mushroom with a distinctly conical cap and a dry, fibrous stem. It's primarily found in the damp, mossy, acidic soils of northern and central Europe, particularly in the vast pine and spruce forests of Scandinavia, with occasional appearances in North America. Its toxin, orellinine, unlike amatoxin, attacks the kidneys so slowly that symptoms can take anywhere from a few days to 3 full weeks to appear. By then, almost nobody connects their illness back to a meal from weeks earlier. Some victims never fully recover kidney function. A transplant becomes the only long-term option. The autumn skullcap. The autumn skullcap, also called the funeral bell, is a tiny, delicate yellow-brown mushroom with a moist, slippery cap that changes color from a deep, dull brown to a pale, honey tan as it dries. It grows in clusters on rotting logs and stumps. It's highly adaptable throughout the entire northern hemisphere, from the damp forests of North America to Europe and northern Asia. The real danger is where it grows. It often pops up in the exact same rotting wood as psychoactive psilocybe mushrooms. It also looks almost identical to the popular edible honey mushroom and the highly prized wood-grown velvet foot mushroom. Worse, it can grow in the exact same clusters on the very same log, intermingling with the edible species. A forager hunting for one can accidentally snip a few lethal skullcaps into the basket without realizing it. It contains the very same cell-destroying amatoxins found in the giant death cap, meaning a tiny overlooked brown cap can quietly turn a home-cooked meal into a final event. The deadly cone cap. You don't need to go near a forest to find a deadly mushroom. The deadly cone cap, also known scientifically as Foliotina rugosa, grows in lawns, garden beds, and mulch, right in the middle of suburban neighborhoods. It's an incredibly small, fragile brown mushroom with a tiny, delicate ring on its thin, hollow stem that can easily wash away during a heavy rainstorm. It also has a conical bell-shaped cap and is easy to overlook. but it belongs to the same amatoxin family as the death cap. Because it grows so close to home, small children and pets face a higher chance of accidental exposure than with any deep forest species on this list. The false parasol. This is the mushroom your local poison control center knows best. The false parasol is a large, elegant, fleshy white mushroom that grows in highly conspicuous, beautiful fairy rings on open grassy lawns. It has a wide, umbrella-like white cap decorated with rough, brownish scales. This is the single most commonly eaten poisonous mushroom in all of North America. It's regularly mistaken for the giant parasol mushroom and the common meadow mushroom, both prized wild edibles. The only reliable visual giveaway appears as the mushroom matures. Its spores are a distinct pale green color, which turns the white gills a dull, greenish-gray shade over time. Almost nobody checks spore color before cooking dinner. While rarely fatal to healthy adults, it can cause severe vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, and abdominal cramps within 1 to 3 hours. The symptoms routinely send victims straight to the ER for intensive fluid therapy. The common ink cap. This mushroom is only dangerous if you're planning to drink. The common ink cap is a pale, bell-shaped gray mushroom that grows in tight, crowded clumps in grassy urban lots and parks nearly worldwide. As it matures, its gills undergo a process called deliquescence, literally melting themselves down into a thick, black, ink-like fluid. On its own, it's edible. The problem is a unique compound called coprine. It blocks your body from properly breaking down alcohol. If you consume any form of alcohol within a few days before or after eating this mushroom, coprine turns into a highly effective poison. You'll get flushing, a racing heart, and violent vomiting. Old foragers nicknamed it Tippler's Bane. If you cook it, eat it, and stay sober, then it's harmless. The poison fire coral. There's a fungus so toxic that scientists warn that you shouldn't even touch it, let alone eat it. The poison fire coral is a bizarre, startling fungus that grows from the forest floor as a cluster of bright, fiery red or vivid orange finger-like fronds in Japan, Korea, parts of China, and northern Queensland, Australia. Simply touching this fungus can cause skin irritation, peeling, and localized burns. Eating even a small piece has caused multi-organ failure, essentially causing your entire body to collapse from the inside out, and it's been tied to real fatalities in both countries. Local health authorities issue seasonal warnings specifically about this species. Within days, victims suffer from hair loss, severe skin peeling on their face and limbs, a drastic drop in white blood cells, and complete multi-organ failure. The false morel. The false morel is a highly distinctive, strange-looking spring mushroom with a deeply wrinkled, brain-like, reddish-brown cap sitting atop a pale, hollow stem. You'll find the false morel growing early in the spring, right alongside the highly coveted, delicious true morel mushroom. While true morels feature a uniform, pitted honeycomb-like cap, the false morel's cap is folded and brain-like. But in the rush of foraging, this distinction is easily missed. The false morel contains gyrometrin, a compound that converts inside the body into monomethylhydrazine, a chemical relative of rocket fuel. It aggressively attacks your central nervous system, destroys red blood cells, and causes severe liver and kidney damage. Strangely, because gyrometrin is highly volatile, much of it can evaporate into the air during boiling or drying, which is how it is traditionally prepared. It was historically sold as a delicacy in parts of Europe, despite the preparation remaining dangerously unreliable. Fatal poisonings still happen most years, even among people following the old methods. The jack-o'-lantern mushroom. It glows with a ghostly green light in the dead of night, but if you mistake it for a gourmet chanterelle during the day, you'll suffer a brutally miserable punishment. The jack-o'-lantern is a stunningly beautiful, bright, vibrant orange-yellow mushroom that closely resembles edible chanterelles. However, while chanterelles grow singly out of the forest soil, jack-o'-lanterns grow in dense, fused clusters directly from rotting wood or buried tree roots. The gills of the jack-o'-lantern contain a bioluminescent compound similar to the chemistry that makes fireflies light up, and in total darkness you can see a faint greenish glow. While eating this glowing deceiver won't kill you, it'll punish your digestive system severely. Within 2 hours, it can trigger severe vomiting, cramps, and diarrhea lasting for days. The rank russula. This one doesn't attack the liver or the kidneys first. It dissolves muscle. Found across Japan, Korea, China, and Taiwan. The rank russula is a dull, dirty gray to charcoal black mushroom with a cap that slowly depresses into a funnel shape as it ages. Its gills are widely spaced and bleed a dull, reddish-brown color when damaged. The unique danger of this blackening mushroom is that it releases a toxin, cycloprop-2-ene carboxylic acid, which causes rhabdomyolysis. This is a rare, horrific condition where your body's skeletal muscle tissue rapidly breaks down and liquefies, all while releasing toxic byproducts into your bloodstream. Symptoms often start within 2 hours. The systemic muscle breakdown can quickly spread to your chest wall and heart, causing your respiratory muscles to fail and triggering sudden, fatal cardiac arrest. Medical case reports have recorded mortality rates near 50% among the most serious poisonings. The brown roll rim. For years, people ate this mushroom safely until their own bodies turned against them. The brown roll rim is a stocky, dull brown mushroom with a cap that has a distinctly rolled inward margin, especially when young. Its gills are yellowish-brown and bruise a dark, dirty brown when touched. It was once a popular food across Eastern and Central Europe. However, every time you eat this mushroom, your immune system quietly creates antibodies to fight this specific antigen. For years, you can eat the brown roll rim with absolutely no ill effects, believing it is completely safe. Then, on a completely random meal, your immune system suddenly triggers a massive, hyper-aggressive autoimmune attack, causing your own body to violently destroy its own red blood cells, leading to rapid kidney failure, systemic shock, and cardiac arrest. It's an autoimmune reaction, not a direct poison. German mycologist Julius Schäfer died this way in 1944 after eating the species for years. The angel wing. The angel wing is a delicate, paper-thin, pure white mushroom that grows in beautiful shelving brackets on decaying coniferous wood. It closely resembles oyster mushrooms, right down to the texture. It's widely distributed across the damp, pine-heavy forests of the Northern Hemisphere, including North America, Europe, and Asia. For decades, it was considered harmless. Then, in 2004, over several weeks, 59 people in Japan suddenly fell severely ill with acute encephalopathy, a rapid, devastating brain disease, after eating angel wing mushrooms. 17 of those victims died. Medical investigation showed that the mushroom contains a neurotoxin called pleurocybellaziridine, which, when consumed, aggressively disrupts the blood-brain barrier. A vast majority of the victims had pre-existing mild kidney disorders, which prevented their bodies from filtering out the toxin, allowing it to rapidly accumulate and cause fatal brain swelling.